Hello world, I'm Miyah and I would like to welcome you to the latest episode of my blog series. So far I've been able to share my own experiences of living with Aspergers syndrome. A second thing that I will do is give my 2 cents on what's going on with autism in the media. A third area entails providing tips and advice for those of you that have Aspergers syndrome, as well as anybody inside the community that knows of your situation. And finally, I will cover topics on things that I'm passionate about that have absolutely nothing to do with autism whatsoever, like Dragon Con 2016, and so far I'm having an absolutely fabulous time. Now this time I'm not going to be doing any cross-promoting, but instead I'm just going to go right to it. So far I have had an absolutely wonderful time, or as the Ninth Doctor would call it, I'm having a fantastic time. And it started off with me going to the writer's track and doing the how to write a story in 1 hour. And that story was about a transgender male named Lloyd who used to be a gypsy named Lola. And I decided to throw in the transgender in there for gender diversity. And I also came up with an idea that he runs into a leprechaun, and it just turned from humorous into a really, really dark, short 1 hour story that we all worked on together. And then the second thing that I went to do was I went to the space track, and they did a talk on finding meteorites in Antarctica. And not only did they talk about the description of these, but they also talked more about their experiences in Antarctica, like the living conditions and the types of layers that you want to wear, and basically how dangerous it is to live in the South Pole. But I thought it was a really, really well planned out panel, and it was really cool. And especially somebody like me, I mean, after my degree at Georgia State, I eventually would like to go into astronomy myself. And it got me thinking, well, some of these scientists live in conditions that are not very livable. And I thought, I don't want to go work in the South Pole. I'd be more interested in working at a telescope. But that's just me. And then a third panel that I did was I went and listened to the history of unicorns. And a lot of people believe that a unicorn would be a female. And here's what I found out. Little girls want to be unicorns, and they like unicorns. And so some of us Pegasus sisters, including myself, I mean, I definitely would want to be a unicorn because we're independent and we're self-determined. And we'd be like the unicorn in Peter Beagle's The Last Unicorn. And I thought that was really cool. So, and then I went and watched a little bit of Batman, the original with Adam West, and then I don't know who Robin is, but the original Batman. And then I made a few runs to the con suite, and they had their famous watermelon soup that they brought out last year. And then I ran into quite a few peeps who I know, including a guy who I met through a young adult group that I used to be a part of. And he's a psychologist too, and he works in the public school system. And I ran into him, and I ran into his friend who also has Asperger's. And I'd like to give a shout out. Thank you for coming to say hello. And actually, he saw me last year, and I saw him. But I didn't recognize him, and I was in the middle of a panic attack / having anxiety and being overwhelmed because I ran into some really mean people at Dragon Con, and I thought, oh great, I don't need one more thing. And I thought maybe he was a newbie that had been at Dragon Con, and I just did not recognize him. He was turning around and staring at me the whole time while I was trying to make myself feel better by talking to Jack Sparrow. Unfortunately, him staring at me and being too shy to talk to me made it worse. And of course, I feel bad about it. And then finally, I decided to sign up and do Dungeons and Dragons first thing tomorrow morning. And I'm really excited about it. It looks like I'll be killing some orcs, which is cool because I love Lord of the Rings and I love how they fought orcs in there. So go figure, right? And I also walked into the Trek track to see the brand new Enterprise model, and I got a few pictures on my cell phone. So, but anyway, I'm going to quit doing as many vlogs about myself, but instead I'm going to start taking little 1-second photos, or 1-second video shots, and having people say hello world in their costumes, because I would like to do more than just talk about myself, because I want to show you that I have a creative side. Now, if you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear from you. What did you like about Dragon Con this year? What don't you like about Dragon Con this year? Did you like the new arrangements? What was your favorite costume? Whatever. So, also check me out on Twitter and on Facebook. I have my own page. You can find me under Hello World with Miyah Sundermeyer. And of course, you can check out my written blogs on WordPress.com. Until next time, I'm Miyah Sundermeyer, and I'm signing off.